a statement with my photograph, and I want to do so using the text tool. So this capital letter T over here off to the left is your text. You can change, I would, use the horizontal type tool. You could explore some of the other ones if you needed to, but most of the time you want to type horizontally. So you just click once and let go. Don't drag out a text box in Photoshop because it does funky things. You don't want to be limited by a text box. So if you just click once and let go, it will allow you to type. So I think I'm going to make like a statement with this, like protect. And then on a separate line, I would type the rest of my phrase. So maybe I'll get the text tool again. Notice how over here in the layers panel, I can see my first text layer and what it says. And then let's just say forests or trees or something like that to make kind of a statement about deforestation. Okay, so maybe I want different font. So what I can do, to highlight the text, to alter it or change it, I can double click, in the layers panel. In order to select it, I have my different options up here at the top, so I can change. Here, I guess it would make more sense to select this one so we can see it. I can change the font. I might want something really bold for this, step that I'm going to be doing. Maybe I want it to be in caps. So maybe I highlight it again, and then this time, oh no, I hit the F key. There we go. So highlight it, and now place my cursor and then retype it. So forests. Here we go. And now that it's a nice bold font, I can also look at, some other options. Maybe I want to turn it up to like a bigger than 200. Maybe I want it to be 300 sized font here. Maybe it is going to go down here. Now I'm running into some issues, like the black is kind of blending with this the caterpillar down here. I could either maybe like extend the bottom of my area that I'm viewing. So if I wanted to come up to like the crop tool, for example, this is how I can make sure that I don't have delete cropped pixels checked, because that'll delete things and it's hard to go back. So I'm going to take that off and then just kind of play around with the size of my frame here. Maybe I want a little bit of, more space at the bottom. And then you can either hit the check mark or hit, enter whenever you're ready. And now obviously I need to fill this area down here, so I'm going to use my rectangular marquee tool. There's supposed to be a video about text, but I'm getting off topic, as I always do. So I made sure I selected with just a little bit of overlap from the original image so that I can fill it with the content aware fill. So I go to edit, fill, choose content aware, and then I just let Photoshop use its AI, its artificial intelligence, to try and guess what should be there. And it did a pretty good job. It sort of looks believable. I might have to go in with the clone stamp and make some of this a little bit more believable, but I'm going to cover most of that anyway. So there we go. There's my composition coming along. Now, say I want to fill this word, so I don't want it to be just black. I mean, I could click on it again, and then I get all my options back. I could change the text up here. I can make it red or something like that. So you can change the color that way. You can also, using the magic wand tool, which selects based on color, you can select all of the red in this layer by having the contiguous button turned off. So what contiguous does is it only selects the red pixels that are touching. So notice it only picks up that one O, even though all this is still on the same layer. So I take off contiguous, and then I can select all of the red, and I can go to, I'll just make a new layer with that. So then this layer is separate from the forest layer. I can even hide that layer, the forest layer, and I can see that I still have this selection active, so I can do something else over here in layer 1. So I have several different pictures that I've kind of pulled up of different textures that I might want to fill that text with. So I have this, you know, tree texture at the top. I think I like this picture with the red foliage. So I'm just going to hit Command A, and notice that selects everything. And then I do Command C, or I can go up to the Edit menu, copy, and now I have my clipboard loaded with this image. So all I have to do, I have my selection ready. This is telling Photoshop, I want you to do something within these marching ants. So now when I go up to the edit, and instead of paste, I'm going to go down to paste special. And now I'm going, because if I just did paste, it would just paste my photo on a separate layer. But I want this to be within the selection. So I'm going to choose paste into. So now my photograph gets loaded into those, notice it's a mask that it's created with this image in here, and I can move this image separate from my words, from my letters. That's kind of cool. I sort of like it going from like green to yellow to red. I like the contrast there. I might even move it over a little bit. That looks pretty neat. Something like this. Okay. Now, it doesn't stand out a whole lot because of, you know, where the brown sort of mixes with the brown. So I might need to use something called layer styles. Now, the layer styles is it's the last function on our layers panel here that we have not played with yet. So the layer styles, it says FX, it stands for layer effects, special effects. So to add a layer style, you just click on here, and let's look at some of the options. So you can add a stroke, which would make like a line around the letters, maybe bevel and emboss. That's kind of cool. That makes it look more like it's three-dimensional. Yeah, so you can kind of see the preview here turned on so that you can see the preview of what you're doing with the different types of layer styles that you can choose. Okay, and then you click OK, and it displays down here as an effect that you can turn on and off. So let's look at another layer style. Maybe if we go up to this, we'll turn that back on. We'll go up to this protect, or go down, I should say, to this protect. So I have that selected, and now I can just add a layer style to that word. I think we should probably change the color of this. So again, I can double click on my text in order to get my options up here, and then here's the text color. So let's make it like a green. I could choose something from, you know, a color from this document. So that's kind of cool. Let's make it this color right here. A little more brown. Okay. There we go. So now if we want to add a layer style, we just click where it says FX. And, oh, if you want to make your letters bigger, Command T, works just like an image. You only need to make this a different font since they're matching. And I want to try some different things. So if I double click, go up here to the font, kind of like that. Maybe, you know, sometimes you'll have bold or italicized that you could choose. Maybe want something a little bit more scripted. Okay, and then your layer styles, you have drop shadow. And you can change the distance of the drop shadow. You can make it more obvious, less. So that's a very common one. You might want to add like an outer glow or something. We can also select this tractor trailer here. It doesn't just work with text. So if we click on our image and we use our object selection tool, let's see how well it works if we just drag around this image and say find the tractor, and there it goes. Command C, Command V. It's not a perfect outline, but there we have it on layer 3. Have the caps lock on still. And then I can add a layer style to any of my image. Any of my layers can have a layer style. So if we do outer glow, that one's kind of a popular one. You can change the color. Maybe we give it like a sky color or something and make it look like it's glowing. So that is some of what you can do with the layer styles in order to create interesting works of graphic design.